This is the 2022 Mazda 2. The Japanese Super Mini is here in Spain. I'm Bernd from Germany and you are watching Asia Auto Ambassador. There's a minor update for the new model year of the Mazda 2 that brings a new color called Platinum Quartz. It's a bright gray silver color, fits very well to the car in my opinion. And there's another new color, dark red, called Carmesine red, but color names vary from market to market. The design remains unchanged. We've got a large grille and LED headlights. Depending on the trim level, there are also matrix LED headlights available. Under the hood, there's a 115 horsepower version of the 1.5 liter four-cylinder engine available again. This is the car you see here, 115 horsepower Mazda 2. Due to European CO2 targets, they skipped the most powerful version in the past, and now for the new model year, Mazda changed the engine a little bit, so they reduced the fuel consumption, they reduced the CO2 output, and this is the reason why they can bring the 115 horsepower version back to market. Not only at the front, but also here in the profile view, the design remains unchanged. The Mazda 2 comes as a 5-door hatchback as standard equipment, and the body measures 4 meters and 7 centimeters in length. Also here at the rear, the design remains unchanged. You see an e-Skyactiv G lettering here. The E stands for mild hybrid system. That's a 22.5 volt mild hybrid system that comes with the 90 horsepower version in combination with a manual transmission and the 115 horsepower version as well. The boot capacity is 286 liters. That's your average boot capacity in the Super Mini segment, and you can fold down the backrest of the rear seats, of course, to increase the loading capacity. Talking numbers, the wheelbase measures 2 meters and 57 centimeters. My height is 1 meter 92 centimeters, that's 6 feet 3 inches. And I adjusted the driver's seat into my individual seating position, so I hardly fit behind my imaginary self, but still I could travel here in the second row for short distances at least. The seats themselves are quite comfortable. I like the upholstery. Here we've got a bluish fabric. I like that. There's an Isofix kid seats system, of course, in the car. And the headroom, however, is a little bit limited due to the roofline that declines to the rear of the car. But yeah, that's again an average Super Mini, compact Super Mini second row compartment here. Let's move forward into the cockpit. The front seats are partly large enough. The backrest is, for people of my size, not wide enough and not high enough. The headrest, however, fits well, and the steering wheel is adjustable in both ways to support an almost ideal seating position. The cockpit of the Mazda 2 remains unchanged as well and looks still quite sportive. You've got a large rev meter behind the steering wheel, and then there are digital displays for the current speed and trip computer information, for example. The multifunction steering wheel allows adjustments of the audio system, a voice recognition system and telephone, and there's an adaptive cruise control that also keeps the distance to the car in front of you. The center display for the infotainment system is not that large compared to some competitors. There are larger displays in the Mazda range, of course, but to insert such a display, you would need to change the instrument or the cockpit layout, and that would be too expensive for development and production, I guess. There's a controller here in the center console where you can adjust and the infotainment. You can, for example, access media, sat-nav, depending on the trim level and the equipment of your car. And with direct buttons like home button and a back button, you can easily navigate yourself through the infotainment system. This is the gear shifter of the 6-speed manual transmission, and in front of that you see the climate control. There's an automatic climate control, however there's no display, but here you see the auto setting, and there's a seat heating, 3 different steps for the seat heating and the steering wheel heating. We don't need that now because we are in Spain, luckily, and I start the engine and then the head-up display presents itself. It's not a head-up display that projects the information directly to the on the windscreen, but you have this little screen here that's not ideal for tall drivers like myself. The head-up display is part of an optional package, again depending on the market. I talk about the German price list, and it comes with matrix LED lights and the keyless entry system, and this package is part of the standard equipment of the 115 horsepower Mazda2. We now take the chance to start our test drive with the top-of-line engine. The engine produces a maximum torque of 151 Newton meters at 3,800 revs, which is now third shift, 86 kilometers per hour. It's not a turbocharged engine, so it needs high revs, and then we are quite agile. The suspension and the steering support that feeling, so the Mazda2 feels like a compact, agile car, which it is, and yeah, you very quickly become one with the car, so it does what you want it to do. The fuel consumption during our test day, we can only trust the trip computer because we don't have time to empty the fuel tank and refill it, is 7.4 liters per 100 kilometers. This is average. You see that despite the fact that we have a mild hybrid car here, there's no true electrification in terms of an engine that turns off, for example, because we've got a 2.5 volt mild hybrid system. It's a little bit more sportive than the 90 horsepower version, a little bit quicker, 200 kilometers per hour top speed, and 0 to 100 is done in 9 seconds. The 90 horsepower version does that in 9.8 seconds. There's a G-vectoring control called system that supports driving in curves, and the torque management supports the driver in curves and when you exit a curve. What does that mean? When you drive the car, feels, again, I said, it's quite agile, and I like it. So I'm really missing Mazda2 MPS sports version with a, let's say, 180 horsepower turbocharged engine. That would be a nice hot hatch, I guess. The current generation of the Mazda2 came to market back in 2015 already. There was a minor facelift in 2020, and 2022 brings this slight update. In addition to the other Mazda2, the Mazda2 hybrid based on the Toyota Yaris here for Europe. There's another short video about the first date with that car. Have a look here on the channel as well. Well, the Mazda2 is quite aged, but it doesn't feel too outdated if you pay attention to driving behaviors. The car is agile, I like the engine, I like the steering. However, if you're looking for the biggest infotainment display and the most modern connectivity systems and so on, it's maybe not the car of your choice, but still you have Apple CarPlay, Android Auto in here, and also, depending on the trim level, wireless Apple CarPlay. Talking about prices, I can tell you the German prices, as I'm German. The base model costs 14,540 euros, and this 115 horsepower engine comes with the top trim level for 22,800 euros, including some of the optional an optional package. The price difference between this car and the 90 horsepower version is 1,400 euros. Yeah, you have to calculate if that's worth it for you. The performance is slightly better, but I guess the 90 horsepower version would do it for you and for me as well. That was my impression on the 2022 model year of the Mazda2. Thank you very much for watching. Thanks to Andreas, the guy behind the camera, for filming. I hope you liked the video, you comment it, you subscribe to the channel, and you also follow Asia Auto Ambassador on Instagram. We finished our job and will enjoy the sun here at a Spanish beach now. Thanks again for watching and see you soon on this channel. Bye bye.